Okay, I'll just let it roll, you know? Let it roll, as they say. I guess this will be a vertical video. But, yeah, I was thinking about how Jordan Peterson had this metaphor for the economy. And he's talking about all these activists who want to improve the economy. So they're like, it's like a monkey with a wrench. It hits an engine. It's like, look, it's better. It's like, no, it's not. You have a system that's highly complex. And it's working, however badly. And you change something, you think you've improved it, but you really haven't because you really don't understand how the system's working at all. I'm just going to very egotistically and quickly connect this with health because I just see all of this is like the biggest thing I see in the health space, where you have a bunch of people who, like, their bodies basically have worked their whole life. Basically. And then they start experiencing problems around 25, 30, and they're like, oh, I'm going to get into health. And they start prioritizing their health, and i.e. they stop continuously poisoning themselves, and then their health improves. And they're like, you see, I know a thing or two about health, and they don't. They literally don't know anything about health. They've just stopped poisoning themselves. So just quickly, I'll explain why I'm unique. I'm unique in this regard because by the time I was experiencing serious insomnia, I was already doing everything right. I was already not poisoning myself to the best ability of the first 20 pages of Google. And what that did was basically nothing for me because I had serious autoimmune metabolic issues, HPA axis dysregulation, sleep problems, etc. So I was just like nothing was working. My mitochondria weren't working. My hormones weren't working. My brain wasn't working. And from this state, I got my body to work again. I didn't do it by understanding what was going wrong per se. I just studied people who were really healthy. And I was like, what is going on in their body that is absent from what's going on in my body? And by studying health in this way, I was like, this is how the idea of Thermo, Christopher Walker, the guy, when I was like 16, 17, 18, his advice helped me get my testosterone working again and helped me start sleeping again before it quickly stopped working when I went to UMass because they were poisoning me with soy, which is a whole different story. But basically, literally, I mean, all the dishes were labeled soy-free, but they sprayed all of them with non-stick vegetable oil spray because they're literally effing evil. I don't know, like criminal incompetence. And, I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll I don't know. I don't really want to instigate a class action lawsuit against UMass because I don't really think you solve problems by focusing on problems because problems, like whatever you focus on multiplies. So when you focus on illness, you multiply illness. When you focus on health, you multiply health. When you focus on problems, you multiply problems. When you focus on productivity, you multiply productivity. So that's not really my goal, is to start a class action lawsuit against them for poisoning me and lying to me about it. Because I don't know. I don't really care. That's the least of the problems of that institution because there's just so much evil. But I mean, it's basically just a leftist indoctrination camp that lies to people about what they're consuming and poisons them. But whatever. So, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, but Peterson's metaphor about the complex system where it's like, I've improved it, and you haven't. And that's really, the thing I take to health. It's a very complicated system, and ultimately a lot of the people I see touting understandings of health, even myself, it's a little is this really what's going on? What's really going on here? I don't think we really know. I think that we're looking at something that's working, and what we should do is we should try to see... Hi, Katarina. We should try to start with where we are and what we have. Okay, how do I make myself 20% healthier every day or something? Instead of, trying to extrapolate off Like, I'll get really specific because I'm starting to ramble in a way that doesn't really tie back. Hello, Katarina. I'm with my daughter in the car right now. We're going to get lemon juice. Okay, so here's a great example. So I have digestive issues that crop up because they just crop up and they go away when I get really healthy, but then they can crop up again. So that's why I keep studying health, so I can stay healthy. One of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm going to get some kombucha and lemons, so I can. Oh, Cannon, what's up? Give her some water. Don't whine though. Just ask for water. But basically, like, consuming lemon juice is really useful for digestive potency. For me, I find lemon juice is helpful. But again, I don't know. Like, this is just simply, like, I just have a lot of experience fixing a system that doesn't work from a state of the system not working. And I will look at other people who's like it's just, there's just stages to like realizing how health works. There's like stage 1 where you're like, health exists. Stage 2, you're like, I should stop poisoning myself all the time. Stage 3, you're like, I think health is more complicated than simply not poisoning yourself. Stage 4, you're like, vitamins exist. Stage 5, you're trying new and interesting diets. Stage 6, you're like starting to look at the mechanisms underlying diets. Stage 7, you're starting to like really get into digestion. And then you're like, oh wow, Hippocrates from all those years ago was saying how all health starts in the gut. That's so interesting. And the thing I see is that a lot of the people who are the most vocal are the people who understand health the least. And the reason that they're so vocal and they understand health the least is because it lends itself, like, again, it's like when your body's working really well, you think you understand why, but you don't. And then when your body's working badly, you know you don't understand why. Because if you did, you would fix it. And then when you fixed your body from having it work really badly, you're also, again, tempted to think you understand why. And all I'm saying is that I probably don't. Like, I probably don't understand why all these things are working. Again, like, because I'm going to die at some point, and that's going to be this culmination of all my efforts failing basically at once. And like, I see like all these people who are like, I understand health perfectly, you know, I have mastered my health. And then like years later, they're like really, really fat. And it's like, you didn't understand health. You were just young and healthy. And then people will say that about me though. And I'm like, I would have died of cancer at 18 if I hadn't done all the stage 7 things that you won't even be aware of till you're 65 and dying. So there's levels to it, is all I'm saying. Like, there's levels to understanding health, and you only get to the next level by suffering, basically. So will I reach the next level? I don't know. I hope not, because that would mean that my systems now would have to fail. It's a paradox. Let's call it the health paradox.